every Saturday. And this one is focused on the Even the Pawn Must Hold a Grudge album that I just wrote at the beginning of this month, I guess. It's still August. But just kind of reflecting on some stuff that I haven't really necessarily talked about. Some stuff that I have, but some stuff that I haven't. And just things that I need to get off my chest, which is pretty much all my music. But like I said, there are some new topics in here tonight. And so I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a little bit of a new direction for me in terms of my songwriting and the songs that inspired this one. But then there's some also, some usual suspects in terms of what has influenced this particular record. So gonna be pretty interesting, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And like I said, this is the Even the Pawn Must Hold a Grudge live stream. Now, for those of you who haven't caught on, most of my albums have take their title from, obviously, the line of best fit in terms of the theme, because they're all concept albums, but they all take their names from lines in various songs. And I kind of got that idea from Steely Dan, because their debut album was called Can't Buy a Thrill, and that was taken from a Dylan record, or a Dylan song, I should say, called It Takes a Lot to Laugh, It Takes a Train to Cry. And there was a line in there that said, Can't Buy a Thrill. Of course, Dylan would repay Steely Dan years later by calling his album Time Out of Mind, which was a Steely Dan song. I don't know if that was intentional or not, or what the deal was, but that's that. But anyway, this particular album title came from a song from Love Minus Zero, Over No Limit, by Bob Dylan, which has been hugely influential for me, especially lately. There was one song that I wrote that ended up being the title track to my album, The Jester and the Queen of Hearts, and that one was kind of subconscious. And then after that, it was intentional. Like, okay, I'm gonna try to write a song like this one. And so anyway, like I said, that was hugely influential, and so I'm going to do my original song called The Straw, and then I'm going to do it as a medley with Love Minus Zero, Over No Limit. So I hope you enjoy both of them. How can I forgive you after everything you did? You made a mess of circumstances when everything was just fine. I still had so much to give you, so maybe if I outlive you, I'll find a way to forgive you and feel sorry for you for a time. You're the poster child of what makes me bitter, turn me into a quitter, a never-ending heavy hitter on why commitment is a trap. This problem is much bigger, though you get credit for making me wither. You're the one who caused the fissure, after years of threatening to crack. So here I run in circles, trying to navigate the hurdles. I walk slow as a turtle, trying to make sense of it all. I'm trying to live with compassion, but my emotions can't be rationed. I'm a human, so why did my reaction take you by surprise that far? My love, she speaks like silence, without ideals of violence. She doesn't have to say she's faithful, yet she's true like ice, like fire. People carry roses and make promises by the hours. My love, she laughs like flowers. Valentines can buy her in the dime stores and bus stations. People talk of situations, read books, repeat quotations, draw conclusions on the wall. Some speak of the future. My love, she speaks softly. She knows there's no success like failure, and failure's no success at all. The cloak and the dagger dangles. Madams light the candles in the ceremonies of the horsemen. Even the pawn must hold a grudge. Statues made of matchsticks crumble into one another. My love winks, she does not bother. She knows too much to argue or to judge. The bridge at midnight trembles. The county doctor rambles. Bankers' nieces seek perfection, expecting all the gifts wise men bring. The wind howls like a hammer. The night blows cold and rainy. My love, she's like some raven at my window with a broken wing. Alright, and that was Love Minus Zero, Over No Limit. The song by Bob Dylan, and my song, which was inspired by that one, called The Straw. And the idea behind that title, in case you didn't catch on, is the straw that broke the camel's back. A lot of stuff to deal with, but that was kind of the most severe. It just kept on getting worse, and you're going to hear about it all tonight. On the Even the Pawn Must Hold a Grudge video series. I know I played that song a couple of weeks ago, and I kind of mentioned this, but there are so many lines in that song that that could have inspired any album title if you're gonna, do it the way I do and name it after, some line in a song. There are plenty of songs that are like that, but that one alone has like 20 of them that you could do. So that's just kind of one of those interesting things. And the funny thing is, I thought about calling it Even the Pawn and just cut it at that. But then I remembered that Fiona Apple album that's called When the Pawn, and like a million other words after that. And so, I didn't want to get confused with Fiona Apple. That's what it came down to. But just a fabulous song, and that also is continuing the tradition in addition to how I name my albums. It's continuing the tradition of being inspired by a song that's a love song and turning it into a breakup song. I've done that with some Ed Sheeran songs as well, just kind of taking it in a different direction for where I'm at mentally. But that's just one of those things. And we'll circle back to Bob Dylan in a little bit, because to quote a former student of mine, this man's obsessed with Bob Dylan. So that's one of those things. And we will continue to go from there. So this next song is a song called My Memory. And it's just about people underestimating you, and you wanting to prove them wrong, but still kind of holding on to that anger for a little bit. Before I play that song, I want to give a shout out to my friend Mia Couch, a friend of mine from First Baptist on Beale. I hope you were hanging in, staying safe and healthy. And I just want to tell you too, Mia, that if the NFL football season gets canceled, that can only be good news for your Cowboys. So there is that. But this is a song called "My Memory." And it was inspired by the song "Talk You Down" by The Script. I want to give a couple of shout outs with the Script portion. So my friend Zach Schreier loves The Script. And so he and I would go back and forth on these music references, and we'd get like about 10 each in at least. And before we were just like, okay, we could go on all night with this. And so I want to give a shout out to him. And then my cousin Brian really, really liked The Script. Pat Gavin as well, family friend. And I'm pretty sure they're both watching on YouTube. And so I appreciate them for that, and for tipping me off to The Script. But anyway, this original song of mine is called "My Memory," and I hope that you enjoy it. This is "My Memory," and there we go. "Talk You Down" by The Script. It hurts that you didn't know me. One whole decade long. If you're sorry, wish you'd show me. I can't seem to move along. You can name a million reasons why you tried to silence my voice. That's alright, but why'd you make it seem like I had a choice? It's been 17 years since you feigned your tears, and since I felt like you didn't have working ears. I'm not the man you thought I was. My memory can hold a grudge. If from 4 years old I can keep dealing in my head. Why'd you think I wouldn't remember what you said? You tried to do what's best for me, but you couldn't see what I could see. Do you before busting, then question lack of trusting? Marking freakouts by the instance, wondering where they all stem from. Wondering who's to blame for the distance. You know you're the only one. Hope lies in the therapeutic. Suddenly I got things to say. You're the reason why it's rooted. Why must I make it go away? It's been 17 years since you feigned your tears, and since I felt like you didn't have working ears. I'm not the man you thought I was. My memory can't hold a grudge. Even 4 years old I can keep dealing in my head. Why'd you think I wouldn't remember the things you said you tried to do? What's best for me, but you couldn't see what I could see. Do you build for busting, then question lack of trusting? It's been 17 years since you feigned your tears, and since I felt like you didn't have working years. I'm not the man you thought I was. My memory can't know the grudge. If from 4 years old I can keep dealing in my head, why'd you think I wouldn't remember the things you said? You tried to do what was best for me, but you couldn't see what I could see. Do you build for busting, then question lack of trusting? Do you build for busting, then question lack of trusting? I can feel the color running as it's fading from my face. Try to speak, but nothing's coming. Nothing I could say to make you stay. Grabbed a suitcase, called a taxi. It's 3 a.m. now, where you gonna go? Gonna stay with friends in London, and that's all I get to know. Just a cigarette, I know you couldn't be that far. Driving my car to where I hope you are. Maybe I could talk you down. Maybe I could talk you down. Oh, we're standing on this tiny ledge. Before this goes over the edge, gonna use my heart and not my head to try to open up your eyes. This is relationship suicide. 'Cause if you go, I go. 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 Taking shortcuts through the alleys as you're racing through my mind. Cops can chase, but they won't catch me. Not before I get to speak my mind. If they're still dying, just a cigarette, oh no, you couldn't be that far. Driving my car to where I hope you are. Maybe I can talk you down. Maybe I can talk you down. Oh, we're standing on this tiny ledge. Before this goes over the edge, gonna move my heart and not my head to try to open up your eyes. This is relationship suicide. 'Cause if you go, I go. 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 We're standing on this tiny ledge. Before this goes over the edge, gonna use my heart and not my head. Oh, we're standing on this tiny ledge. Before this goes over the edge, gonna use my heart and not my head. Just a cigarette, oh no, you couldn't be that far. Driving my car to where I hope you are. Maybe I could talk you down. Maybe I could talk you down. Oh, we're standing on this tiny ledge. Before this goes over the edge, gonna use my heart and not my head to try to open up your eyes. This is relationship suicide. 'Cause if you go, I go. 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 All right, and that was a combination of an original song called My Memory, and that was inspired by the script song called Talk You Down, which I just played as well. Again, I want to give a shout out to my friend Zach Schreier, who loves the script as well. And the reason why we were so evenly matched in terms of the script, making references to their songs, is because if he went, then I went. So that's why we always had an even number of back and forth. But Zach was a wrestling friend of mine, and a friend of mine anyway, but we met each other through wrestling. And Chris Jackson, same thing. He's another wrestler friend of mine from high school. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. And I just got freebirded by Zach. I hope you remember that I actually know how to play that too. So if you really want me to play it, I definitely can. But we'll probably close with that if you really do want me to play it. Otherwise, just get off my feet. But anyway, we're gonna continue and playing a song that was inspired by another song, just like regular, just like normal. And this one was actually inspired by the Bob Dylan song "Positively 4th Street," which is another one that I play a fair amount. But it is such a good song because it's so mean, but just great. So this particular song, it was inspired by "Positively 4th Street," a Bob Dylan song. But the title, "Tired of Squinting," was actually inspired by BoJack Horseman line, and so that's that was that. But anyway, there was a line in that BoJack Horseman episode, or in a BoJack Horseman episode, where one of the characters said to her husband, she said, those paintings that you look at for a really long time, and if you squint hard enough, it turns into something beautiful. And then she said, well, I'm just really tired of squinting. And so that stuck in my mind when I was writing this song. And this is about somebody in particular who, I had romantic feelings for, and wasn't really able to express them in as many words, which is kind of a common theme. But I, in terms of like gestures and things like that, I definitely did, and it just like wasn't working out. And then just recently, we were supposed to FaceTime, and I called her like a little bit after we were supposed to, and no answer, and so then she called me back like a half hour later, and said, yeah, I met the pool with my friends, and I just lost track of time and whatever, can I call you later? And at first I said yes, but then I was like, no, we're not going to do that, because this is the kind of person who is, kind of, it, again, like I never made my romantic feelings all that clear. But at the same time, it was like, she took me for granted even as a friend. And so it was like, I didn't even care about that anymore. And it was just kind of annoying to always be her second option. And she even said, this particular night, she's in grad school. And so she said to me, she said, yeah, I've just been really busy with grad school, and hanging out with these friends was, just the relaxation that I needed. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, because I'd like to think that, us FaceTiming would do that same thing. So we haven't really talked since then, and that was June. But I wrote this song again in August, just because I had never really been mad at her in a song before, and never really let myself be mad. So this is a song called "Tired of Squinting," and I hope you enjoy it. You make my heart run wild when I see your name on my phone, wondering if this is the time you prioritize me. But it won't be this time. You once again left me alone. Just once I would love it if you'd surprise me. You got your laughing friends you hang out with by the pool. You're busy and tired and they give you revival. When someone is in the third world, you're all about the golden rule. What does it say about ignoring friends in the Bible? You insist I know your heart more and more, that's not the case. Not sure what happened to the one I fell in love with. For so long I let you slip by simply because of your face. But now it's all of you that I'm done with. You mean well in your head and in the public eye, but there's a side of you most just aren't seeing. Maybe it's just 'cause there's only one who receives your lies. You see a doorman, I see a human being. Yeah, I know love's a marathon and sometimes runners get tired, but even they at points are still sprinting. If I scrunch together my face, I can see beauty in the fire. But at this point, I'm so tired of squinting. You've got a lot of nerve to say you are my friend. When I was down, you just stood there grinning. You've got a lot of nerve to say you gotta help Mandolin. You just wanna be on the side that's winning. You say I let you down, you know it's not like that. If you're so hurt, why then don't you show it? You say you lost your faith, but that's not where it's at. You had no faith to lose, and you know it. I know the reason that you talked behind my back. I used to be among the crowd you're in with. Do you take me for such a fool to think I'd make contact with the one that hides what he don't know to begin with. You see me on the street, you always act surprised. You say, how are you, good luck, but you don't mean it. When you know as well as me, you'd rather see me paralyzed. Why don't you just come out once and scream it? No, I do not feel good when I see the heartbreaks you embrace. If I was a master thief, perhaps I'd rob them. And though I know you're dissatisfied with your position and your place, don't you understand that's not my problem? I wish that for just one time you could stand inside my shoes, and just for that one moment I could be you. Yes, I wish that for just one time you could stand inside my shoes. You know what a drag it is to see you. All right, and that was Positively 4th Street. I messed up that last line, which to me is the best line in the song. I wish that for just one time you could stand inside my shoes so you'd know what a drag it is to see you. Good Lord. The funny thing about that song is that, so that was a single, just like a standalone single in between, I believe, Another Side of Bob Dylan and Highway 61 Revisited. And with the first one, with Another Side of Bob Dylan, the album in '64, there was one song in particular, and I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but there's one song in particular that Dylan said later, in a later interview. He said, yeah, I probably took that one a little bit too far in terms of being too mean. And this is coming from the guy that wrote Idiot Wind and that song, Positively 4th Street. And yet, that particular song, he felt like he went too far. So that always makes me laugh. But that is Positively 4th Street, one of my favorite songs. And as some of you may know, I used to live on 4th Street in Memphis, and maintenance just kind of became kind of ridiculous, as did the leasing managers, and mainly it was the leasing managers. And so that song kind of took on new meaning for me when I moved, because it was just one of those things. But one of my absolute favorites. So I mentioned earlier how how Love Minus Zero Over No Limit, that's obviously a really beautiful love song. I wrote a song that was inspired by that, and it was not a love song by any stretch of the imagination. And this next song that I'm going to play, I came up with it at 10 or 11 at night. And I was just like, yeah, it was one of those. And I have so many of these songs where I'm like, that's a really dumb idea for a song. And then I start writing it and I'm like, oh no, there is something here. And so this was one of those. And so there's a Leanne Womack song that's called, I May Hate Myself in the Morning. And, first of all, about 6 years ago, I just became obsessed with the rhyme scheme in this song. And so, you know, I had heard it, but it was just one of those things where, like, I wasn't really listening until that time, you know, about 9 years after it was released, which tends to happen with me a lot. But anyway, so I was thinking about this. And it was like, oh, that'd be a funny idea for a song. And so I wrote a song that's called "I Hate Myself a Little," and you'll see where I kind of took the "I May Hate Myself in the Morning" and went in a different direction with it. But this is "I Hate Myself a Little, and I May Hate Myself in the Morning." I have made bad mistakes, and I have paid the price just a time or two. I thought that could finally end with a future around the bend of loving you. Memphis in July, you said, was you giving things a try, but now our love's a bore. Yeah, I hate myself a little, but I hate you a little more. You look yourself in the mirror, feel bad but soon see clearer, it could be worse. You could follow your cheating dad and throw away the guy you had to keep the curse. Never thought we'd reach a void where you would become so annoyed that love was a chore. Yeah, I made myself a little, but I hate you a little more. Remember that car I brushed up against with my Mazda 3? Remember that day you hit with your car? Well, that was me. I'm starting to get over and realize it's really that you're insecure. My whole first reaction was to clean below the fraction was my place for sure. Now I'm beginning to realize that I've been feeding myself lies, so now let's even the score. Yeah, I may hate myself a little, but I hate you a little more. Yeah, I may hate myself a little, but I hate you a little more. Ain't just like one of us to make up the morning all after a couple drinks and say how you been. I've been wondering that maybe you've been thinking about me. And somewhere in the conversation, an old familiar invitation always arrives. And I may hate myself in the morning, but I'm gonna love you tonight. Everyone's known someone that they just can't help but want. And even though we try to make it work out well, the thought just lingers on. So once again we wind up in each other's arms, pretending that it is right. And I may hate myself in the morning, but I'm gonna love you tonight. I know it's wrong, but it ain't easy moving on. So why can't two friends remember the good times again. Tomorrow when I wake up, I'll be feeling a little guilty and a little sad, thinking about the way everything used to be before it went bad. And I guess that's just what it is in lonely late night calls that we try to find. Yeah, I may hate myself in the morning, but I'm gonna love you tonight. Yeah, I may hate myself in the morning, but I'm gonna love you tonight. Alright, and that was I Hate Myself a Little, paired with I May Hate Myself in the Morning. Somewhat of a parody, but more so just taking it in a little different direction. And I mean, the funny thing about the way that I, structure my set lists, right, is that I do medleys of the songs that, inspired it and XYZ. And the funny thing is that, again, like most of the time, you have this like breakup song that's mine, and then you have this love song that's somebody else's. And so it kind of creates this this contrast. But a lot of my albums are all about being torn, about not wanting to ruin certain things, and doing that. So that's just one of those interesting things. It makes the set a little bit more dynamic in the album itself. So this next song is one. It was inspired by a Justin Townes Earl song, and one that was called Am I That Lonely Tonight? And that was off of his album Nothing's Gonna Change the Way You Feel About Me Now, which was released on March 29th of 2012. The reason why I remember that is because I had, it was the 28th, I take that back. But the reason why I remember that is that I had a paper due on that day for my Spanish comp class, and so it was assigned, and the professor said, "Oh yeah, it's due on March 28th." And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, there's something about March 28th that's going to make that difficult, and then I realized it was the JTE record. So I know my friend Pat Gavin is tuning in, and so whenever I play Justin Townes Earl, whether he's listening or not, I always dedicate it. And this is a song of mine called Pair of Bootstraps, and then Am I That Lonely Tonight? And this particular song is about somebody that I was romantically interested in, and we had, talked about dating, and it just didn't work out. Stop me if you've heard that one before. But we're, kind of talking about it when I was in Boston for my brother's graduation. And so I always kind of use that as a background of being in Boston. But she was a huge Ed Sheeran fan, and so I couldn't listen to him for years and years and years. And then the two of us reconnected briefly a couple of years ago, and I said, "Oh yeah, I remember you were a big Ed Sheeran fan," and she's like, "Well, I wasn't that big of a fan of him." Like, you know what? I could have enjoyed his music, but instead you had to ruin him for me, so don't try to tell me that you weren't that big of a fan. But anyway, this is a song called Pair of Bootstraps, and I'm going to pair it with Am I That Lonely Tonight by Justin Townes Earl. I hear Ed Sheeran playing randomly. I think the DJ wants to make me cry. My heart then feels like February, specifically that 10th night. A lovely Massachusetts requiem was just a requiem for a dream. You once dangled forever in front of me. Now I don't know what that means. Now you're just another pair of bootstraps I must lace. Got back in touch with you sometime in August when your grandfather was about to pass. We related as humans for the first time in ages, but it wouldn't last. I still had it inside, there was barely a curtain call. So that era was over, it was time to once again let us fall. You were back to being a pair of bootstraps I had to lace. Sometimes I feel that the way we ended just seems to sit wrong. But with the way life is headed for me, maybe it's best after all that you're gone. I hear beautiful goodbye on my iPhone. It made me think of you before we lost touch. You were perfect when you cried, except when another man didn't feel your rush. So now we move on with our lives. I think I've read this one before. Now you're just another pair of bootstraps I must lace. Now you're just another pair of bootstraps I must lace. Hear my father on the radio singing, "Take me home again." 300 miles from the Carolina coast, and I'm skin and bones again. Sometimes I wish that I could get away. Sometimes I wish he'd just call. Am I that lonely tonight? Yeah, I don't know. There's just something in the night like this that can be so hard to take. Oncoming headlights through the mountain mist, they're too close for comfort, and there's too much at stake. So turn the radio down, roll the windows up and say to myself that I thought I'd be a better man. Sometimes I dream that I have found a place where I don't feel so alone. Am I that lonely tonight? I don't know. Sometimes I think that love can find a way where I don't have to feel so on my own. Am I that lonely tonight? I don't know. All right, and that was Pair of Bootstraps and Am I That Lonely Tonight? I have adapted Lace Up Your Bootstraps as kind of a sarcastic title in that particular song, because people say it unironically when they're being racist. So that's just one of those things that I'm like, and that, and that's one of the things about a lot of these songs that I'm playing is that people have kind of, said that like, oh, well, just move on. And it's not that simple. It's really not that easy to just, lace up your bootstraps and move on. So that's kind of what that song is about. But like I said, there's that, Justin Townes Earl song in there, and that's the song that inspired that. So that is that, and we're going to keep on moving. While I'm talking about Pat Gavin and Brian, who's Well, actually, I'll get back to that in a second. But really, actually, this one is another shout out for Pat Gavin. In addition to taking me to see Justin Townes Earl on Valentine's Day, Pat Gavin used to make mixes for me, and he one of the songs on one of the mixes was a song called "My Wasted Friends" by Ike Riley, and this next song that I'm going to play is a song called "Friends." And as I was reading through the lyrics, because I always write the lyrics first and kind of have a tune in my head, and I think like, oh, I'll remember that. And lately, I haven't been all that good at remembering what inspired the particular songs. And so I was like, okay, what is this? And it, I couldn't think of it. And so I just started playing this riff and then, different chords, but I was thinking, yeah, that, it was a little bit of the same tempo as that Ike Riley song, "My Wasted Friends." So I did that. And then a little later on, when I was looking at the lyrics, I was like, oh, that actually was inspired by "Better That We Break" by Maroon 5, which is completely different tempo-wise. But somehow I was able to make it work. I think maybe because both of them are written in C, or at least I play both of them in C. I don't know what it is, but that's just one of those things. So radically different songs that I thought inspired it. But I'm going to play the faster version and do it as a medley with "My Wasted Friends." But then I'm also going to play "Better That We Break" by Maroon 5. So hope you enjoy it. Thought I had the girl from Des Moines, all was well when I dropped a coin, but I suppose that was not the case. Since the Phantom left December 1, she was always on the run, and I never again saw her face. I held on, I let go, now I don't let feelings show, 'cause I didn't want good things to end. Tell me why she said goodbye and left my heart to mend. That's something I can't comprehend. If she wanted to be friends, something as December turned, felt like it had been spun. I was more stressed than I'd felt before. It hit me later on, of course. I couldn't see her anymore. Now I'm not sure why she let our bridges burn. Was that what I earned? I held on, I let go. Now I don't let my feelings show, 'cause I didn't want good things to end. Tell me why she said goodbye and left my heart to mend. That's something I can't comprehend. If she wanted to be friends, now I think twice before I ask, and she's to blame for that. She helped me to trust again, but I am plenty of friends, and is it a loss if she ghosted me for months? I held on, I let go, now I don't let my feelings show, 'cause I don't want good things to end. Tell me why she said goodbye and left my heart to mend. That's something I can't comprehend. If she wanted to be friends, I held on, I let go. Now I don't let my feelings show, 'cause I didn't want good things to end. Tell me why she said goodbye and left my heart to mend. That's something I can't comprehend. If she wanted to be friends, take my money, wreck my song, all the good times they have gone. But I don't know you, I don't know you now. Let's have a drink, let's take a ride. I don't wanna think, and I'm not gonna drive. Drinks all around for my wasted friends. Hide my car, take my keys, steal my dope and set me free. Free to know you, free to know you now. Let's have a drink, drink to the stars as the gods are crashing their cars. Drinks all around for my wasted friends. Cinnamon trip at low rate speed. Money, money, money for low grade weed. All the noise and the beat's been sold, and now all the good times they got blown. But I don't know you, I don't know you now. Let's have a drink, let's take a ride with the gods blessed in my mind. Drinks all around for my wasted friends. Drinks all around for my wasted friends. I never knew perfection till you heard me speak, and now it kills me just to hear you say the simple things. Now waking up is hard to do, and sleeping's impossible too. Everything's reminding me of you. What can I do? It's not right, not okay. Say the words that you say. Maybe we're better off this way. I'm not fine, I'm in pain. It's harder every day. Maybe we're better off this way. It's better that we break. A fool that lets you slip away. I chase you just to hear you say you're scared and that you think that I'm insane. The city looks so nice from here. Pity I can't see it clearly while you're standing there and disappears. It disappears. It's not right, not okay. Say the words that you say. Maybe we're better off this way. I'm not fine, I'm in pain. It's harder every day. Maybe we're better off this way. It's better that we break up. Saw you sitting all alone. You're fragile and you're cold, but that's alright. Life these days is getting rough. knocks you down and beats you up, but it's just a roller coaster anyway. Hey, it's not right, not okay. Say the words that you say. Maybe we're better off this way. I'm not fine, I'm in pain. It's harder every day. Maybe we're better off this way. It's better that we bring up. It's not right, not okay. Say the words that you say. Maybe we're better off this way. It's better that we bring, baby. All right, and that was Friends, My Wasted Friends, and Better That We Break. That second one, of course, Ike Riley, and then the last one was a Maroon 5 song. I'm pretty sure that song was written about me after Adam Levine regretted getting that restraining order against me. I think that's what it was. If you don't believe me on that, just remember that the track after that on that album, It Won't Be Soon Before Long, is called Back at Your Door. So, it adds up. I just want to throw that out there. Some good news for those of you tuning in Minnesota. Twins are up over the Royals 4-2. That was, 5-6 minutes ago. The score might have changed, but my mom is in with the score report. I appreciate you, Mom, for tuning in and doing that. Watching the Twins game too, updating me on that. Man, I tell you, we're not super close to Kansas City, but we're close enough. So I feel like I should be getting Fox Sports Kansas City and be able to watch the game. But I am happy to be here with you guys. I mentioned Brian and Pat Gavin earlier, who are tuning in as well, and this particular song was written about somebody that we all used to work with, and if you two are curious as to who that is, you can text me later about it. But a handful of years earlier, I had this really weird but vivid dream where this particular person was at my house, and my house was on fire, and she and her boyfriend were standing on my porch, my front porch, just watching as the house burned down, even when I was screaming for help and being like, "Hey, come save us!" So that was really interesting, and I had completely forgotten about it until I was, trying to rack my brain for everything that's bothered me over the past 15 years or so, and this was one of the things that came up. So this is a song called "Let It Burn," and it was inspired by "Burning House," the song by Cam. I hope you enjoy that. Twins are up 5-2 now. We scored another run. So maybe it's better that I'm right here. I think me not watching or me saying a lower score makes the score go higher, something like that. I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little bit stitious, but just one of those things. So I appreciate you again for the updates, Mom. But this is Burning House, and Let It Burn. I'm going to play Let It Burn first, and then do Burning House. Yeah, I dreamt you were at my door. You and your boyfriend peered through the screen. Oh, while my house was on fire. You watched as the embers charred the scene, and as I was standing there getting all covered in flames, all you could do was watch me go down. Last thing I saw was when you waved. I guess you still haven't changed your mind. It was just a dream, or at least that's what I say, just to try to make all the tears go away. You were there when I needed you the most, but when I cried for help, you just froze. You let it burn. I thought back to all of the good times, like when a man making cotton candy had you mesmerized. Having that image left me surprised when you refused to douse the flames you saw before your eyes. Yeah, I wished for love, but I'll settle for a simple cat. It was just a dream, or at least that's what I say, just to try to make all the tears go away. You were there when I needed you the most, but when I cried for help, you just froze. You let it burn. It was just a dream, or at least that's what I say, just to try to make all the tears go away. You were there when I needed you the most, but when you refused to douse the flames, it was because you just froze. Yeah, when I cried for help, you just froze. You let it burn. You let it burn. You let it burn. I had a dream about a burning house. You were stuck inside, couldn't get you out. I lay beside you and pulled you close, and the two of us wound up in smoke. Love isn't all that it seems. I did you wrong. I'll stay here with you until the dream is gone. I've been sleepwalking, I've been wandering all night, trying to take what's lost and broken, make it right. Yeah, I've been sleepwalking, we're close to the fire, but it's the only place that I can hold you close in this burning house. See you at a party and you look the same. I could take you back, but people don't ever change. Wish there were we could go back in time. I'll be the one you thought you'd never find. Love isn't all that it seems. I did you wrong. I'll stay here with you until the dream is gone. I've been sleepwalking, I've been wandering all night, trying to take what's lost and broken, make it right. Yeah, I've been sleepwalking, too close to the fire, but it's the only place that I can hold you tight. In this burning house, the flames are getting bigger now. In this burning house, I can hold on to you somehow. In this burning house, when I don't wanna wake up. In this burning house, I've been sleepwalking, I've been wandering all night, trying to take what's lost and broken, make it right. Yeah, I've been sleepwalking, too close to the fire, but it's the only place that I can hold you tight. In this burning house, in this burning house. All right, and that was Burning House and Let It Burn. Yeah, excuse me. That second one was by a country artist named Cam, who I haven't heard a ton from recently. But that was one of those songs. And that I really enjoyed that one, writing that, because I just have like the really weird encyclopedic knowledge of songs and stuff, but that one didn't even feel like it was in my subconscious. And so when I came up with the idea, it was kind of interesting. That's what inspired it. So I was happy to do it. It's a good song for sure. But we're gonna move on, and I'm gonna play a song that's called "You Break Me," and this one was inspired by somebody that I met recently, and we went on a couple of dates, and things were going really well, it seemed like, and then all of a sudden she just stopped responding to my texts with no explanation until like 2 or 3 weeks later. And I actually ran into her downtown in like November or something, but it was like October, I think it was, and it's like 9 months after we stopped talking, so it was really weird. But I mean, the funny thing is, she said to me, she's like, "Oh yeah," she goes, "Man, it's surprising to see you here." And I'm like, "What's that supposed to mean? I live downtown. Like, how is it surprising to see it? Like, if we were in Midtown and we ran into each other, then like, yeah, that'd be really surprising." But just one of those things. So this was kind of about that. And this is a song called "You Break Me," and it was inspired by Mover. Play both of those songs. It was just 2 dates, but love became innate. Forever didn't seem all that obscure. December came and went. Suddenly the time we spent was cancelled out by your saying you were unsure. I'm but a mug under fence, but it still doesn't make sense. Seemed as though I was second to no one. Then on the first of the year, you finally made it clear you saw me as a friend, so we were done. What were those places you were glad to take me? Now you break me, you break me, you break me, you break me, you break me. You break me, you break me, you break me, you break me, you break me. Saw you out on a walk, first time when you talked, you told me that you were surprised to see me there. Did you figure how you feel, get some free meals? How could you be so casual when with me on remand? I'm but a good defense, but it still doesn't make sense. Seeming though I was singing to no one. Then on the first of the year, you finally made it clear. Saw me as a friend, so we were done. What were those places you were so glad to take me? Now you break me, you break me, you break me, you break me, you break me. You break me, you break me, you break me, you break me, you break me. I made jokes so quickly about you, but the truth is I still think about you tons. Another time where I'm not sure what I did. Maybe you were just having fun. I put them on your defense, but it still doesn't make sense. Seemed as though I was saying it to no one. Then on the first of the year, you finally made it clear. You saw me as a friend, so we were done. What were those places you were glad to take me? What were those places you were glad to take me? Now you break me, you break me, you break me, you break me, you break me. Yeah, you break me, you break me, you break me, you break me, you break me. Turn the TV off, turn it on again, staring at the blades on the fan as it spins around. Counting every crack, clock is wide awake, talking to myself, anything to make a sound. I told you I wouldn't call, told you I wouldn't care, but maybe climbing the walls gets me nowhere. Don't think that I can take this bad, getting any older. Come over, come over, come over, come over, come over. Come over, come over, come over, come over, come over. You can say we're done like we always do. It's easier to lie to me than yourself. Forget about your friends, you know they're gonna say we're bad for each other, but we're not good for anyone else. I told you I wouldn't call, I told you I wouldn't care, but baby climbing the walls gets me nowhere. Don't think that I can take this bad, getting any colder. Come over, come over, come over, come over, come over. Come over, come over, come over, come over, come over. We don't have to miss each other. Come over. We don't have to fix each other. Come over. We don't have to say forever. Come over. You don't have to stay forever. Come over. I told you I wouldn't call, I told you I wouldn't get, but maybe climbing the walls gets me nowhere. Don't think that I can take this world getting any colder. Don't think that I can take this bed getting any colder. Come over, come over, come over, come over, come over. Come over, come over, come over, come over, come over. All right, and that was Come Over by Kenny Chesney. And my song called You Break Me, which was inspired by the Kenny Chesney song. Quick shout out, speaking of Kenny Chesney and that particular album, my buddy Joe Leathers co-wrote a song on that record, Welcome to the Fishbowl. It was a bonus track, but he also, the album before that was Hemingway's Whiskey, and Joe Leathers wrote the title track to Hemingway's Whiskey, and Kenny Chesney cut it. And so that's a really, really cool thing, and he's one of our own. He lives in the Memphis area. It might be like Germantown or something like that, but still the metropolitan area. We count Germantown as part of Memphis when they do cool things. But that is that. So this next song is a song called Free Fall. And this was inspired by Vice by Miranda Lambert. So I'm going to play both of those songs. Wish I could move on and love you from carte blanche, but my brain refuses to give my heart what it wants. You had no way to know you moved on with your life, but living without you don't feel right. I become what I bashed, and I don't like him at all. Can you find treasure from trash? Are you the one who will stop this free fall? Let me answer that right now. I'm not sure that it's you, and it ain't your fault. It's just my pain shining through. If I can communicate that there's a larger problem at hand, I'm afraid you'll push me away, even if you understand. I've become what I bashed, and I don't like him at all. Can you find treasure from trash? Are you the one who will stop me from this free fall? Wish I could just move on and love you from carte blanche, but my brain refuses to give my heart what it wants. Yeah, I become what I bashed, and I don't like him at all. Can you find treasure from trash? Are you the one who will stop me from this free fall? 'Cause I become what I bashed, and I don't like him at all. Can you find treasure from trash? Are you the one who will stop me from this free fall? Sting of the needle, driving on a vinyl neon, singing with a jukebox title full of heartbreaks. 33, 45, 78. When it hurts this good, you gotta pay the price. Another vice. All dressed up in a pretty black label, sweet salvation on a dining room table, waiting on me where the numb meets the lonely. It's all gone before it ever meets the ice. Another vice. Another vice, another call, another bed I shouldn't crawl out of. It's 7 a.m. with my shoes in hand. Said I wouldn't do it, but I'll do it again. And I know I'll be back tomorrow night. Oh, I wear the style like a leather jacket. When it wears off, I don't even bother packing. And if you need me, I'll be where my reputation doesn't precede me. Maybe I'm addicted to goodbyes. Another vice, another town where my past can run me down. Another life, another car, another bed I shouldn't crawl out of. It's 7 a.m. with my shoes in hand. Said I wouldn't do it, but I'll do it again. And I know I'll make mountain tomorrow night. Another vice. Oh, another vice. Standing at the sink, not looking in the mirror. Don't know where I am or how I got here. Well, maybe the only thing I know how to find is another vice. Another vice. Another vice. Alright, and that was Vice by Miranda Lambert. Sorry for that crash there. I just need to plug up my phone really quick, because it is dying. Alright. But yeah, that was Vice by Miranda Lambert. Obviously written from a little bit different perspective, but, you know, I like to think that I could have a one-night stand and pull off wearing high heels. You know, I feel like that'd be a good look for me. So, the, you know, carrying my shoes out as I leave, you know, that's a good image. But mainly it's just a good song. And Miranda Lambert is a fabulous, fabulous songwriter. So, we are going to keep going, and this next song is on the country genre. And this is actually, you know what? I'm gonna skip that one and play that next week, because I don't have it in my head right now. I just learned it today, so I'm not. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. I can pull that off. This is a song called Two Birds. It's a country song, but it's been getting a lot of play on Weevil, WEVL, and they have they have a lot of different things, different types of music on there. This is a song called Two Birds, and I thought it'd fit well. It's the lyrics are slightly different than I thought they would be. But you know, the storyline, I should say, but it's still is a good song, and it reminds me a little bit of the song "I Got the Boy," you know, kind of in that same realm, but just a really good song. So this is Two Birds, and I hope you enjoy it. One was a red dress, a wild one from out west. Didn't waste a minute with her heart. The other was a bluebird, careful with her sweet words, unless she lets you hold her in the dark. They fell for him one at a time, for his silver tongue bigger blind. So easily they flew into the cage. One got the diamond, one got a hotel room. One got a promise and one got to say I do. Both up so high until they met one night. His name came up and they both fell from the sky. Two birds, one stone. One sang a song so wild and free. The other sang at the kitchen sink, and he longed for the melody of both. He wasn't cruel, he wasn't mean, but he had a way of breaking things. His aim was truer than an arrow from a bow. One got the diamond and one got a hotel room. One got a promise and one got to say I do. Both up so high until they met one night. His name came up and they fell from the sky. Two birds, one stone. He'll roll along, we all know he will. Find another set of wings on some windowsill. Two birds, one stone. One got a diamond, one got a hotel room. One got a promise and one got to say I do. Both end up so high until they met one night. His name came up and they fell from the sky. Two birds, one stone. Two birds, one stone. All right, and that was Two Birds by Laurie McKenna. A little bonus track for you there. It's a really catchy chorus. I texted Mark Parcell about it and said, if you haven't heard this, take a listen. And it's one of those songs where, like, you can tell it's a product of the Nashville sound, but it's such a cool story and still a really catchy song. So that's a really cool thing. Awesome. So I just have a couple more here. Couple more for you, and this next one is one that I wrote. Let's see, coming up on 3 weeks ago. I wrote it on August 5th, and it was one of those things that I knew that I wanted to make a song that was like Boots of Spanish Leather, in the sense that, like, it was a conversation between two people. And I couldn't really decide who those two people were. Like, I knew one of them was me, but the other one I'll leave open to your interpretation in terms of who you want that to be. But it's one of those things, I started writing it, and then, I had about 4 verses before I had to leave for work and knew it wasn't finished. So I kept on writing it. And I wound up with 13 verses. So that's one of those things. But this is a song called Pawns, and closes out the Even the Pawn Must Hold a Grudge video series. Although I'm going to close with Boots of Spanish Leather. But I felt that these were good bookends. That I had the Pawns and then that first song that was inspired by Love Minus Zero over No Limit. So this is Pawns and Boots of Spanish Leather, and I hope you enjoy both of them. Won't you sit down on the couch, she said, and begin wherever you see fitting. 'Cause I know you got some things you gotta work out, and bad thoughts from your brain you've been knitting. See, you can probably trace things back to 8th grade, when I tried to change the winds of rejecting. Yeah, I was made to feel like a fool, but I just wanted so badly to stop the infecting. It hurt me to the core and implanted the seed that true love was a myth by the elders. 'Cause she never was going to love me anyway, no matter how much I tried to tell her. Well, that's quite a past, let's get rid of that, even if it's in your subconscious. 'Cause it's clear you are much better than that, and evident that you don't want this. Oh, and 3 years removed from that incident, I met someone who on the surface seemed normal. She rejected me in the worst way when I asked her to the spring formal. She told me that she didn't have a date that night and thanked me for inquiring. When I asked her if she wanted to go with me, she said actually she had someone more desiring. Well, prom is overrated anyway. I'm sure by now she's forgotten that evening. Besides, you saved a bunch of money, and most importantly, you are still breathing. But that's not the morn, I'm not finished yet. That was just the start of a painful pattern. Someone lead me on, then leave my world dark when they once gave light to my lantern. I'm not here to tell you I've never been to blame. I once overstepped twice in the same bubble. It haunts me to this day, and if she knew that, maybe she wouldn't cause me so much trouble. Well, everybody makes mistakes, someone soon will not see you for your damage. Just keep on working on yourself, and eventually I am confident you will manage. 'Cause there's someone out there for everyone, if you can only be patient. A few years and you'll get your confidence back up, and you can make your feelings more blatant. See, that's all well and good, but that's not the end of my arm being broken. The other ones I could shake off rather quick, but this one left the wound open. See, it started out in Boston town when I was out for my brother's graduation. She and I talked about a future together, and I finally loved my situation. Yeah, I bragged about her to my family and friends, so much they thought the heartache would be over. But all of that finally changed when she said no on the 11th of October. Then November came around, I found out she lied and didn't confront her till February. For the first time a huge part of me had died. I felt so sad it was scary. So then I got close again to someone that fall, who said she was destined for a convent. And just like that, the love I thought I had just kinda came and went. So I traveled to southwestern Spain, thought I might finally be curse breaking. But a year and a half on, she said our love was gone, and it was always hers for the taking. So it took me 2 years to move on from her. I finally put the pieces back together. Met a girl from Des Moines, she was only a step, yet she still made me feel better. But I asked her out, she said no, and I didn't see her before she moved to California. So I was gun shy 2 years later when I met somebody from Toma. Well, now I finally see when it's all laid out, all the reasons why you are so bitter. And I get why with all the data in your hand, you're resigned to being a quitter. Well, pawns can move forward and diagonally only when they are attacking. And I can see why you move in the second way with the love that you've been lacking. Well, I'm a sailing away, my own true love, sailing away in the morning. Is there something I can send you from across the sea, from the place that I'll be landing? No, there's nothing you can send to me. No, there's nothing you can send to me, my own true love. There's nothing I wish to be owning. Just carry yourself back to me unspoiled from across the lonesome ocean. Oh, but I thought you might want something else, made of silver or of golden, either from the mountains of Madrid or from the coast of Barcelona. Oh, but if I and the stars from the darkest night and the diamonds from the deepest ocean, and forsake them all for your sweet kiss, for that's all I'm wishing to be owning. Let our mind be on a long time, and it's only that I am asking, is there something I can send you to remember me by, to make your time more easy passing? Oh, and how can you ask me again? It only brings me sorrow. The same thing I'd want from you today, I would want again tomorrow. I got a letter on some lonesome day. It was from a ship a-sailing, saying I don't know when I'll be coming back again. It depends on how I'm a-feeling. Well, if you, my love, must think of that way, I'm sure your mind is a roaming. I'm sure your heart is not with me, but with the country to where you're going. So take heed of the western winds, take heed of the stormy weather. And yes, there's something you can send back to me. Spanish boots of Spanish leather. All right, and that was Pawns paired with Boots of Spanish Leather. When I was looking that up, because I was trying to justify writing a 13 verse song, and I was like, oh, how long is how many verses is Boots of Spanish Leather? And it said it was like 9 verses or something like that, and then it's only like 6 minutes long. And then I was like, okay, well, what about Desolation Row, which is like an 11-minute song? I don't even think that had 13 verses. But that was about 14 years worth of trauma to sort through in one song. So you try writing that in, 3 or 4 verses, fit it into 3 or 4 minutes. It's ridiculous. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Andrew Loth, I appreciate you for tuning in as well. And I do this every Saturday at 7:30. And might switch up the day here and there, but I like to do some things there, and give you guys a deep dive into my catalog, which is pretty darn deep to begin with. So I hope you enjoyed that. Again, this album was called Even the Pawn Must Hold a Grudge. And I am Minnesota Mike. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And like I said, I'm going to do one next week as well. And not entirely sure what that's going to be, but it's going to be great. And I'm looking forward to it. So please stay safe out there, in there, whatever. And be sure to tune in next week.